Hello everyone and welcome to the Redmen TV as I hurriedly turn the volume down on my laptop. I'm Ste here, joined by Lewis Asmal. Today's Liverpool news update is up on us. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to be speaking about Alexis Mac Allister, Harvey Elliott, a bit of transfer stuff as well. Thanks very much for joining us. If you are live with us on YouTube, use the live chat, get involved in the show as well. Give us your thoughts on all things Reds as we go through the entire episode. How you doing, mate? You good?
All right. Second international break in 2 months. Bored already.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel your pain. There is international football tonight. There's loads of potential interest from Liverpool in tonight's games. You've got England, you've got Ireland are playing, Greece obviously are playing. There's loads going on if you want to watch it. One player we think, Lewis, to tie in nicely, so thanks very much for the seamless way to get started with the show. It looks like Alexis Mac Allister is not going to play from Argentina. Thanks to the guys at This Van Field who have collaborated various reports from South America. Early Argentina team news says Alexis Mac Allister is not fit enough to extend his streak. He's played in every Argentina game since February 2022, he is expected not to take part in the World Cup qualifier against Venezuela. It's tonight / early hours tomorrow morning. I think I'm right in saying. I'll have to clarify that actually. Let me just double check that. Either way, no, I think it's wrong. I think it's actually Thursday afternoon. Argentina fixture. Should have known this. No, I was right. It is.
No,
it is.
Don't question yourself.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't have. It's Thursday evening UK time. We've got my time differences mixed up. Yeah. 10 p.m. UK time. Work out yourselves. It looks like he's not going to play. They say he's got a muscle strain in his left thigh, which begs the question why he's there in the first place. But we know how international football works. But yeah, I don't know if this is bad news or good news. Good news that he's not going to potentially aggravate another issue. Bad news that he's actually got a thigh issue, which is different to the adductor issue that he missed game time with last time. So he's clearly got something going on here, Alexis. But he's not going to play in this one. They're going to see how he is for Bolivia. But either way, it's not ideal for Liverpool. No. Alexis clearly isn't 100%.
No, I agree. And to be honest, this whole we'll see how he plays thing, I think that's code for we need to rush him back as soon as possible. International football, I personally love it, but it does frustrate me how quick managers are to just rush players back in because they don't care. What do they care if he gets injured in between the international fixtures? I think it's good in a sense of he does need the game off. He does need a bit of a break. He's been non-stop for us. He's been class. He's been non-stop for Argentina for years. And I think that's because he's such a key player. So the fact that he's getting this game off, albeit not for the right reasons, I can't see much of a downside. And it's as much as you don't want to underestimate anyone, it's Venezuela against the World Cup winners. He's not necessarily needed for this game, and I'm really happy that he is getting the 90 minutes off, and I'm hopeful that in the next game he actually gets another 90 minutes off.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? Is that they play Bolivia in it's in a couple of weeks' time, so it's about a week away. He isn't ruled out to that one yet, but he's not guaranteed to be fit for it either. This is always the concern when you send a player who's not 100% away. You are right. Argentina, I'm sure, will look after him, and the player himself isn't an idiot. He'll know he's injured or he's not injured. But players will always try and play competitive football if they can. If he's 80%, he'd want to play. They might want to play him. Liverpool are just waiting with bated breath. Thank God. He looks like he's not going to play tonight. He's not fit enough. But the worry then turns to next week. And again, Bolivia's a tougher game. Are they going to be rushing him back? It's a difficult one.
Yeah, and I think that is the way it's going to go. And I don't want it to. I want him to have those 2 games off, but if you're in this Argentina position, you're looking at Mac Allister. He's won everything he possibly can with the club. He's one of the best midfielders, one of the best players in the team. They're going to rush him back. And from their selfish standpoint, not saying they're selfish, but they will just want to rush him back as quick as possible. They're not going to, like I said before, they're not going to care what we think. They're not going to care if he gets injured while he's playing with us. The main thing they're bothered about is, look, he's here to play for Argentina. Let's get him back for that second game, whether he's fit or close enough to it. And Mac Allister, I think, has been quite fortunate that he doesn't get injured very often. I think he missed 6 games last season or something like that.
Whack on the knee against Sheffield United. Yeah. You can't do nothing about that.
No, that's what I mean. And he's very fortunate in that regard. But my issue then is I feel like he's going to get played a bit too much because he has become one of the most consistent midfielders in this league. And that's translated to his international football as well. So I'm hoping he gets the game time off. I'm hoping they let him recuperate in the right way. And yeah, just don't want to see him rush back and aggregate anything.
Mwanzi says it's a catch-22 situation. If he's fit enough to play, then he'll definitely start for Argentina. But that will mean he's rushed back, and that is kind of that's the worry for it. Yeah. To move the story on a little bit, though, Lewis, they go back to it. They're diagnosing it as a left thigh issue, which apparently he felt against Crystal Palace. It's why he came off. He missed time on the last international break with an adductor problem. So again, it's a second muscular injury now for Alexis. Yeah. You mentioned before, world champions, Copa America champions, plays every game he's fit and available for, plays all the time for Liverpool. He's so important. The games come thick and fast. We've seen players talking about it. They continue to talk about it. He is a player who, it's unsurprising he's picking these things up because he plays so often. Yeah. And yeah, from a purely Liverpool point of view, you're just gutted that he's going to put more minutes in his legs on international duty potentially. But are you worried now this is the second minor, potentially, we don't know, but like muscle injury that Alexis has had, and bear in mind it's October 10th. Yeah. Less than a couple of months into the season, really, 3 months in, just about, maybe 2 months in even, and it's Alexis' second muscle injury already. It's a bit of a red flag, that.
Yeah, definitely. But we've said, how many times have we said there's too many matches now? There's things that just don't need to be in football. Your Nations League is one, for example. There's more Champions League games. They're competing for every trophy, and what we've seen under Slot is they're going for everything that they're in. That Carabao Cup team was a strong team that we played. So we're not in a position where we're looking at matches and going to write off. We don't need to stress about that. We're going for everything, and it's a second injury for him. Alisson, it's his second injury now that he's on. Players are picking up these muscular injuries more and more often, and it's a testament to just how many matches they're actually playing, especially when you're a key player like Mac Allister. So it is concerning that he's got yet another one when his track record of injury before that is near perfect, bar the odd one or two that he's picking up every so often. You just don't want it to be like going down the route of your Keita's or your Aquilani's or something like that, where it's just consistent injury after consistent injury. And I'm hoping that the minutes get managed more for him going forward, because we've got some big crunch matches coming up, especially.
Well, they play 7 games in 3 weeks once he's back. So, yeah, to clarify just one more time, Alexis Mac Allister's not going to play, it looks like, against Venezuela for Argentina tonight. They're going to wait and see how he is for the Bolivia game. I'm just going to clarify, the date of that is early Wednesday morning, so late Tuesday night, UK time, so less than a week away, really, them 2 games. Obviously, he would then probably fly home on that Wednesday or Thursday ahead of Liverpool versus Chelsea the following Sunday. So that's where we're at with Mac Allister. Definitely looks like he's not going to play against Venezuela. He's touch and go for Bolivia. And if he doesn't make that one, the questions then become, where is he in terms of that Chelsea game, which is only, 3 or 4 days later, Lewis.
Yeah, October 20th, isn't it? So it's, and we're already missing Alisson. There's going to be a lot of other players in our team who are going to be playing consistent international football, and like Luis Diaz, he's not going to get back till late as well. Not from injury, but just, I always feel sorry for these South American players just because of the time difference and the amount of travel they've got to do. So there is a lot of red flags in that team for such a massive game. And again, it goes back to, I hope Mac Allister just gets this rest and time off and recuperation, because we've got Chelsea, and then I think we've got, in that short period of time, we've got Leverkusen, Arsenal, Villa, Leipzig in the next 7 games. So this is the crunch time. This is the sort of, if we can get through this, people will be looking at us thinking, they can actually do something here. So we need them fit and ready, and it is if the first game back was a newly promoted team at Anfield,
you'd probably give them the bench.
Yeah, you could probably just think, give them the time off. But a Chelsea team who seem to be hitting form, even if it is at Anfield, it's still a big fixture. So you want your best players for it. And I'm hoping that he can just be fit enough to, maybe if he doesn't even start that match, but does have an impact coming into the team at some point.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So no Alexis. It looks like if you were planning to watch Argentina to see Alexis tonight, don't do that. You can maybe watch Colombia instead. Luis Diaz probably is going to feature. They're wrapped up in their own controversy. Go and Google that, by the way. Spygate 3.0 happening around Colombia. Colombia have found someone spying on them. So that's what's happening.
All over again.
A little bit. So that's where Colombia are at. So keep an eye out on that one. What I can do, actually, we'll talk in a minute. I'll give you the full rundown of when the internationals are and who's playing tonight. In the meantime, you mentioned injuries and having players back. There's a chance, Lewis, Harvey Elliott could be back for Liverpool versus Chelsea. He's put his own little cryptic message up on his socials, like they tend to do when they're feeling better. So with these footy players, there's Harvey Elliott on his Insta story. He's working hard in the gym with the famous hourglass emojis. It's time ticking. Obviously, Elliott's been out with a broken foot since the last international break. He's missed the entire action between the 2 breaks there, ironically with a break. At the time it was reported he could be back post this international break. It looks like he's well on track. Could be, again, 7 games in 3 weeks, maybe little injury doubts over a couple of players, including Alexis. It could be real welcome news here. It looks like Harvey is close, if not ready, to come back for that Chelsea match.
I hope so. Again, don't rush him. Please just give him the time. But Harvey Elliott's one of the most exciting players in this team, I think, in terms of what he can go on to achieve. And it's a shame that it always feels like when Elliott gets a knock, it's something major. Obviously, the one against Leeds, this one, when he goes down, it's something serious. And Curtis Jones has been called up to the England squad, and in my mind, I think if Elliott was fit, there was a chance it was going to be him getting called up to this team. And having him back, he adds that extra level of dynamism in midfield. He's so creative. I'm really looking forward to see what he can do with Slot when he comes back, and I'm just hoping that when he does come back, it's when he's fit and ready, because we're not in a position where we need to rush him. We've got enough players there now who are capable of doing the job. And Elliott, he's still young. He still needs to be nurtured. Does not need to be rushed back, especially from a broken foot? Was it?
Foot,
so,
yeah.
It's not something you can just go, there you go, get out there and get on with it. If he's not ready, he's not ready. But judging by that, it's only positive going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Liverpool could do with him, like I say. Fingers crossed to Harvey, and again, he will be needed. Liverpool will need a lot of players. Injuries, suspensions, all that can happen. It's a massive intended period Liverpool have got come post-break. Just to touch back on what we spoke about earlier, international footy. So thanks to the guys at Empire the Cop, they've done a little roundup of the fixtures today that could or will involve Liverpool players. So starting at 7 p.m. UK time, these times are all going to be UK times. You've got Japan against Saudi Arabia. Obviously, Endo sets the captain Japan in that one. You've got England versus Greece at 7:45. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Curtis Jones and Kostas Tsimikas could all be in action in that one. France v Israel, Israel v France. Ibu Konate, of course, in the French squad. Finland, Republic of Ireland. Keith Keller in goal for the Irish team. You've got Luis Diaz's Colombia, I've mentioned before. They're in Bolivia, where there's been loads of issues around that one. That's at 9 p.m. in that high altitude in Bolivia. So good. Hopefully Luis Diaz plays well but gets a rest. It's not easy to play football. And then Argentina, Venezuela is 10 p.m. but we're not expecting Alexis Mac Allister to be involved with that one. So there's your international roundup if you're looking for something to watch later on today in terms of the senior national teams. Let's talk a little bit. In fact, yeah, let's have a go then. Liverpool Clone says, I know Chelsea have got 2 players banned. Did they get a 3rd player banned? So yeah, Chelsea do have a couple of suspensions for that game. There's talk Nicholas Jackson might be suspended as well. But did he slap someone? Or is that what he did? There was a brawl in the Forest game, but that Forest game led to a lot of suspension. So Mark Cucurella and Wesley Fofana will both miss that game. They are suspended. And there's talk something might happen with Nicholas Jackson. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm sure we'll talk about that in due course if anything does come of it. But thanks for the question anyway, mate. Yeah, they're definitely without Fofana and Cucurella, and then potentially without Nicholas Jackson as well, who's actually been scoring goals.
That's because
it could have been a bonus at some point to have him playing on the pitch.
And before I get to a point where I'm happy Nicholas Jackson's suspended.
I wanted him to be the first name on the team sheet a few weeks ago, but now he's bang up for it, so something to keep an eye on. But yeah, that we're still a little well away from that. MK says they have a 40-man squad, they'll be fine. They'll find that another lad on an 8-year contract and all will be okay. Let's talk transfers. It is the transfer window in a few months' time. International breaks tend to bring stories out, whether it's journalists looking for clicks or there's accuracy behind it. Who knows? You'd be the judge of that one. Dean Jones, transfer correspondent from Give Me Sport, says Liverpool are one of the clubs, Lewis, interested in Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo. Liverpool, Newcastle and Tottenham have all been looking at the player with a view to moving for him in 2025. Only joined there in 2023. He's played well rather. 12 goals in 50 appearances for Bournemouth, which is no mean feat in a team that's generally struggled. Well, I said they ended up being 12th last year, so maybe I've been a bit harsh on them. I've always found with Semenyo actually that he's looked good against us. Yeah. I thought he was good the other week. I know Liverpool won comfortably in the end. He's involved very early, and he nearly gets the early goal. He was probably their brightest player, but this is the second day and this week we have been doing the news where Liverpool have been linked to another forward player. There was Mamouche of Frankfurt, there was Adeyemi of Dortmund, now is Semenyo. I did see Fabrizio Romano say Liverpool are apparently looking at forwards and wingers and that kind of stuff, but does Semenyo tickle your fancy?
I don't see, I mean, it's something about that phrase. Semenyo's good. Like, you touched, was it 12 goals in 50 appearances, something like that?
Yeah.
Like I said, in for a Bournemouth team who a lot of people expected to get relegated, I think, after parting ways with Gary O'Neill, they did so well, and he was a really big part of that. Like, I've got him in my fantasy team, like, just putting out, but like, he's a really talented player, and against Southampton, he looked fantastic. Even Chelsea in the 1-0 loss, which they looked like the last minute, he looked really good in that game. He is someone who I'd look at and think you could get something out of him. He's very good on the ball. He's very good at getting into central positions to actually shoot. But how much would Bournemouth charge for him? Because you said they're 2023 is when they got him. He's going to be on a long-term contract, you'd imagine. Excuse me. So they're not going to part with him cheap because he is one of their best attacking players, like with Sinisterra and Kluivert and stuff like that. So you're looking at, in the modern market, what, like 50 million they might be asking for him? That's a lot for someone who... Maybe more, exactly. And that's a lot for someone who, yeah, he's done it at Bournemouth, but would he fit in Slot's system? Because he doesn't strike me as the type of player that Slot would necessarily enjoy. But then Diaz, I don't know. It's a really weird one. I feel like I'd need to see more of him to sort of gauge and get like a proper opinion of him. Like, do you think he's good enough, or...?
Yeah, I was more infused with some of the other links, if I'm honest. Again, time will tell. I suppose the question would be, who's leaving?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have 7.
No.
There's just no way Liverpool are going to have 7 forward options. So who's he coming in for? And all that kind of stuff. That would be the main character. I don't think I think if he's joined now, he would be the 6th or 7th. He'd be probably 7th choice. Yeah. So you'd probably want better.
And he's on the right side as well.
Yeah, he's on the wrong, but the right/wrong side.
Well, yeah.
So I would agree with that one. I was much preferred the Mamouche links to that. He's a number 9, and I do believe Liverpool were looking for a forward. They could be number 9. MK says it would probably be Salah or Nunes leaving. Nunes likely exits. You'll never walk alone. Said it's obvious it would be Nunes. He's not wanted. I don't know what that.
Whoa.
But if you sign a 9, it will be him, wouldn't it?
Of him and Jota, definitely. I think Nunez would be the one that people would think you're surplus to requirements. Jota's bang on it. He's had a few games off, but Nunez, even Slot's still saying, look, we have to change the whole system to fit Nunez in. So I think even he's getting to a point where it's like, is he the right player for me? So if anyone was going to go, it would probably be Nunez. Yeah,
I tend to agree with that one. Yeah, time will tell. I've got a couple of questions here then. A few people who joined us late about Alexis, so you have to update again. I'll give it once again. He's missing Argentina's game tonight. He's a doubt for the next game, and we'll see what that means for Liverpool going forwards. I would like them, actually, to go back to Mac Allister one more time, to send them home.
Yeah.
If he's a doubt, just don't play him against, like, especially if they win tonight. What I'll do, actually, to round up, I'll bring up the World Cup qualifying table for South America. And Argentina do sit top. As it currently stands. I spelled world wrong, so it hasn't worked. I missed the R off world. So World Cup qualifies South America. Here we go. So as it stands, Argentina are top, 18 points from 8 games, played 6. They won 6, lost 2 of them. If they win today, you could almost. We'll see how Colombia get on again. They've got a tough game in Bolivia. Bolivia's never easy to go. Hopefully there's a Wales they would win and maybe say, listen, don't risk it, we need you for further down the line. The last thing they need is Alexis Mac Allister out, missing the November break, missing more games. Because I'm just checking their fixtures in the next international break. Obviously that is when they have a relatively tough game. They go to Paraguay and then they're at home against Peru. So if you go back to the table, those 2 teams are roughly in
mid-table,
middle
sort of.
bottom. We'll see what that means for them. But yeah, so I think we're all just desperate to. We're not Argentinian, so we don't care. Get them home.
I mean, I completely agree. Like, if they win this next game, they're essentially through. And based on that table, anyway, I mean, Argentina aren't going to drop out of it. They've got enough players to fill that position. Just send them back, because you don't want to be keeping him there, not getting any game time. He's recovering with different physios and stuff, just to then fly back for hours and hours and hours, get more physios at Liverpool, trying to be rushed back. Like, it doesn't make sense to keep him there. But the only argument I can see to them maybe wanting to keep him is, who's to say someone else doesn't get injured for that second game, and they think, well, you're fit enough, you can probably just get in there. So I don't think they're going to do it, but it is the dream scenario that they just go, right, lump it, go on, you can go home, just fly back now, and then we don't have to deal with the whole last minute travel and this whole story of players are shattered before the before the first game, because like I said before, Diaz and Mac Allister and Nunez, they're flying for, what is it, something like over 10 hours or something, like it's ridiculously long. So yeah, I'm hoping it's the scenario.
Absolutely. OP says, I'm behind live here, but for the record, the adductor injury could be the thigh muscle injury. It could be the same one, not a new one. It could be. I think I'm right saying the last one was a right adductor and this is left thigh. I might be wrong on that. So yeah, it is worth clarifying. Dark Alexis says, team talk are saying Virgil van Dijk could be signing a new contract soon. Any credibility? I hope so. I hope so. I don't know. I'm honest with you. The Gerald Kwanzaa sign one. They're in talks with the EBU. Hopefully, Virgil, Trent and Salah talks continue. It would be nice to get a little update over the break, wouldn't it, Lewis?
Yeah, perfect time to do it.
Listen, who am I to dismiss team talk? If they're saying something nice about Liverpool, then let's go for it. But I haven't really spoke to you for a while on the contract stuff. Last time we spoke about it, Lewis, we were like, oh yeah, we think it'll all happen. I've gone more pessimistic, especially with Alexander-Arnold's situation.
Yeah.
Where's your mood at with the contracts?
I still think that we're going to lose at least. I think did I say one last time? I think I said one and maybe two will stay. As time's going on and things are dragging out, I'm hearing these links of wingers and stuff. The only one I'm sort of looking at and thinking you might probably stay is Van Dijk. Trent, he's the one I want to keep the most, but I am sort of getting to that point now where I'm like, I just don't see it. Because this whole trophy talk that he's saying, one day you'll wake up, you've retired and you regret things you don't do and all this. I think Trent's resigned to Real Madrid, and this whole looking for a winger thing rather than trying to open discussions with Salah makes me think I don't see him sticking around either. So I think I'm in the same boat. I'm just slowly over time becoming more pessimistic, and I don't like that. I don't want to be a pessimist.
No, let's believe team talk. Let's get team talk.
Come on, team talk.
Let's go with the team talk. We back here. We believe in you. Get Virgil signing that contract. Mate, thanks for coming in. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. It's been a while, so nice to have you back in. Thanks all you guys for watching or listening to this Liverpool news update. For those in Scotland, and there might be very few of you, Paul, Chris and the whole gang are on their way up right now. They're doing a live show in Dundee tonight. So get yourselves along there if you're looking for something to do up in Dundee or in the area. There's a few last minute tickets available. If you just go to our socials, you'll find them. They're going to have a banging time. And then we're live on the 19th of October in Liverpool, Hotel Anfield. Lewis will be there. I'll be there. The whole gang will be there. So again, go to our socials, go to Skiddle and search the Redmen TV. If you want a night out, the night before Liverpool play Chelsea. So if you're in the city, if you're in and around, maybe you've got a hotel booked, looking for something to do that night, come and see us in Hotel Anfield. We'll have a ball, I promise you. We'll have an absolute fantastic time. Kieran says, I'm off to the Dundee show tonight. I don't need these negative vibes. Sorry, Key. Yeah, you are right. So I've seen the show. I've seen the production and what the guys are going to be doing. You're going to be in for a whale of a time. They're going to have an absolute blast. So have a drink, have a dance, get Keo firing out the Liverpool songs. You're going to have a great time. Anyway, thanks to Lewis, thanks to you guys, thanks for Adam for producing, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow with another new show. See you there.